Hi, folks. Welcome to the Daryl and Boo Show for, what is it, November the 16th.
Yeah.
How's it going, Boo?
Yeah, pretty good. Staying dry. It looks like it is really coming down outside. I think the weather forecast is calling for 90-kilometer-an-hour winds, my kids were saying. So
wow,
that should be pretty interesting. Actually, I didn't include the article, but I guess the Stanley Park seawall was closed for a while there with all the wind and rain and stuff. But yeah, otherwise I was watching the weather, trying to get out mountain biking, and got everything all packed up on Saturday because I thought I had a couple-hour window. Packed everything up, started heading out, and then had to turn around because it just started coming down, rain. And then the next day was supposed to be raining, and woke up to a weather report saying that it wasn't going to rain for the morning. And so then we quickly packed everything up and then got out there and got some riding in. So yeah, still managed to stay dry though. How about you?
Yeah, it was a nice weekend, just kind of similar to the last weekend. A few things done around the house, raking leaves, which is a several-week process. The wind kind of kicks up and you do all your raking, and then you wait another week and the wind kicks up again and you start all over again. So yeah, I got some of that done, but got out for a nice run when it wasn't raining. Actually, it was kind of beautiful for a couple of hours, and I snuck out. And other than that, we wife and I just kind of got out for dinner and met up with some friends and just had a pretty chill, relaxing weekend overall. So it was nice.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah. I think we've got Ryan McElgunn back joining us again today. There he is.
Hey guys, Boo, don't complain about the weather, man. I'm all of this is bringing us snow. Ski season is just about to start, so please don't complain.
Well, that's a precursor to one of the articles that I've pulled up, but Cypress Mountain, which is the mountain that I have passes for with the kids, is open as of this past weekend. So we're pretty excited for that. Got the roof box all loaded up onto our SUV.
Yeah. Love it. Nice. Yeah, I mean, it was. I was just listening to you guys. The difference for me on the weekend was I was parked in front of the TV watching the Masters, so that was that took up a lot of time, but pretty entertaining nonetheless. So I'm behind on my chores, Daryl. I got some leaves to take care of too.
Yeah, it's a never-ending battle until they're all down. But yeah, the Masters was cool to see that DJ won and kind of dominated pretty much throughout the whole tournament. Just obviously a very likable guy, and was kind of dominated the tour of the last year or so. But first Masters for him, so I think everybody was kind of happy to see that.
It was cool. They've got this video technology now where they can show like some of the past Masters, and then they're able to take the fans out so they can show some of the historical events, what it would look like without anybody there. But it's weird watching these big tournaments where there's supposed to be people and all that, and it's just like a guy does an incredible shot and nothing happens. Like it's so different. But it was it's too bad because that would have gone down as one of the better Masters with all those fans. I mean, DJ was just fantastic. Yeah.
The human element in sports is being missed. I've said before on other shows, I'm a big football guy, so I'm parked in front of the TV every Sunday when the Seahawks are playing, and their home field advantage has obviously gone away, being the loudest stadium in Seattle, and it is, even though they're piping in fan noise and booing and cheering and all that, it's just. Not the same.
We won't talk about the Hawks on the weekend. Then we'll leave it.
No.
Another conversation.
I couldn't even get through the whole game. I think I walked away in the middle of the fourth quarter. I was getting so upset. But we were down in Kitsilano though for I guess Saturday afternoon. And just saw huge lineups outside all of the ski and snowboard stores. So people are obviously pretty pumped to be getting back up in the hill.
Yeah, we were online last night shopping for getting my daughter every 2 years. It seems like you got to do the new set of gear, right? So this is the year where we have to start figuring out how to get all that stuff here in time for end of school, and we always go up and ski over New Year's and spend a little bit of time at Whistler. So that's got to get the gear ready for that. So
Yeah, nice. One of my friends, he's got 3 daughters. Is it 3? Yeah, he's got 3, no, maybe 4 daughters. Anyways, he has, all of them are on skis, but just last year, he cleared out their sets of skis and bought them all new sets. And so he actually sold 3 sets of skis that were in graduating sizes. So I bought all of them because now I don't have to buy skis for my daughter for the next 10 years or so.
Yeah, you got to think ahead, right?
Yeah, it's a good deal.
Are you guys going to get up to Cyprus right away then, Boo, with the kids, or are you going to still try and do some mountain biking on the weekends? And
I think we could probably pull off both at this point. I don't know. We'll see. We can. We'll probably try for next weekend. I haven't seen how crazy it is. So they put a limit now on ticket sales. So you have to buy your tickets ahead of time. Everybody that has a pass can go whenever you want. They encourage you to try to go off peak if you can and get your skiing done then, but they're not putting any limits on when you can or can't go if you're a pass holder. So we'll see.
I'm very curious to see what that experience is like. Like, thinking of Whistler, like, how do you upload on the mountain, right? It's gondolas and all that kind of stuff. It'll be really interesting to see how they handle this. And our numbers aren't doing the best in BC. So I'm very curious to see if it's like, if they can get the mountains open in a meaningful way, or if it's just so scaled back.
Yeah. What I've heard too is most of the restaurants right now are already pretty difficult to get into, and just you have to reserve in line. Obviously, there's only so much room, and a lot of these restaurants are pretty small. So I'm sure people who have access to their own home, whether it's theirs or a rental, are going to be doing a lot of cooking at home and that sort of thing, just to take advantage of the skiing.
Yep, I think so.
Yeah.
Your daughter, Ryan, has she been skiing for a few years now, or?
Yeah, we had her up on skis is pretty much right away. It was, I think she was in ski school at 3 years old, and we had a great, years ago, this is long, obviously she's 12 now. So it was quite a while ago. We had her at ski school for 3 or 4 days in a row, and she fell asleep at lunch and they couldn't wake her up again. So I think we found the limit that I think 5 days of consecutive skiing when you're 3 is enough. My wife's phoning me, and she's on one part of the mountain. I'm on another part of the mountain with some of the guys, and I'm trying to like peak to peak it and get down to the base of Whistler, and she's just dead asleep. And you're like, okay, well. And then she was fine. The couple of the younger folks at the ski school were like, we can't wake her up. I'm like, don't worry about it. It's fine. It was fine. Cut my day short, but it was pretty funny. I thought something was wrong, and she just having asleep.
One of the amazing parts, I don't have kids, but obviously one of the amazing parts about Whistler, just having the ability to do that, to drop your kids off in the morning and go do your own thing for the day, and then come back in the afternoon, and they've had a fun day, they've learned something, and they're all tuckered out. So
especially when they're young. It's cool too, because occasionally you'll cross paths with them, and they're having so much fun. And you just and you see them in the weirdest spots. You're like, how did you guys get up here? Like you see them kind of heading up somewhere, and you're like, ugh, okay. So, it's what we do. We probably head up to Whistler twice a month, January, February, March.
Nice.
Yeah, it's certainly my favorite thing. And golf in the summer and ski in the winter. So,
yeah, Whistler's just a magical place. No matter what time of year you're up there, even in the shoulder season, there's stuff to do and always something going on. So great place.
Mm-hmm.
So we did actually most of last week and starting this week too. We've had F5 training. This is kind of the week that we're actually supposed to be down in somewhere in the US. I think it was supposed to be Vegas this year, if I'm not mistaken.
That's what I heard. Yeah.
Anyways, that obviously got canceled. They're doing everything virtually, which number one, I'll say I'm pretty impressed with just how well it's flowing. There's no technical issues, really simple to manage. Every session has been really well done. They seem to have time for everyone's questions. So kudos to all the F5 folks who worked incredibly hard at pulling this stuff off. But sat in a couple of shape training sessions today, which was which was really good. Some of it was just in the interactions that we've had with a number of our customers was a little bit repetitive, but there's always something new that we learned. But certainly I would say the hottest part of F5 right now, there's lots of good stuff going on at F5, but I'm going to have to say kind of shape discussions seem to be the hottest thing right now. And I know you're a pretty busy guy, Ryan, just completely focused on shape.
Yeah, no, the conference has been great, or the training has been great. It's been interesting to try and poke into the other topics, but it seems like there's a lot of momentum behind Shape Tools right now, and we've just done some new product launches, and so I think there's we're busy. It's good. It's always a good indication when you have as much interest in the products as we do right now, and people coming towards us for business, not just us going out there and having to try and find it, which is it's been good. And I think it's been really interesting to talk and with the other parts of the company and hear what other regions. And I sat in on a European discussion the other day, and I thought it's just really interesting to hear what they're doing and then sort of think about how we can translate over here. There's so much good stuff going on too around the integration of the F5 products and just all of the the NGINX acquisition and Shape, and trying to put all those pieces together is really starting to make a lot of sense. And the picture that we can paint is pretty cool, and it's exciting. I mean, we were a year ago, this wasn't even on the radar for us, right? And now here we are with the support of a big company. So it's been I've been super impressed too, Daryl, just with doing it virtually. It would have been fun to be in Vegas, there's no question, but it's I guess it sounds, it's supposed to be there next year. So hopefully we go and we'll go see the Raiders play.
Yes, no, exactly. I'm not the hugest. I've been to Vegas obviously many times, as we all have, and it kind of lost its shine for me a little bit over the last few years. But now that there's football and hockey, I'm excited to get down there. But we were saying the other day with friends, I think literally anywhere right now is exciting if you're
going down the street.
Yeah, we're very, very lucky, obviously, to be here in BC and Vancouver, and just the fact that we still can get out and get outside of our house and do things where many other places in the world you're still fully locked down. So you can't really complain. But it certainly will be nice to jump on a plane the next time you can actually go on a real vacation, wherever that may be.
Oh yeah, that's especially for me, I traveled a lot when I joined Shape, and this has been it's nice not to have to get on a plane for a while, and then after a while you're like, I could go somewhere and do something different. It'd be fine. I don't mind. The occasional restaurant would be fun, and just to see a different site. But I was talking to the guys in Alberta this morning, and they're shoveling, so let's not complain too much.
No, exactly.
I'm totally fine with what we got. I'll rake some leaves. It's not that bad.
Yeah. You never can complain about being in Vancouver. That's for sure. So Boo, I don't know if you pulled up some. Did you pull up some?
Yeah, got some things to chat about today.
Yeah.
So 2 weeks ago, we had on David Warburton from the F5 Labs team, and Ryan, as you mentioned, Shape kind of having more linkages into F5 now. This phishing and fraud report, this was the first year, well, obviously it's going to be the first year that Shape was able to contribute their intelligence into this phishing and fraud report. So David Warburton was on 2 weeks ago on our weekly update, and I did a live stream with him as well to talk through the report. The report wasn't out at that time, but that did just come out just this past Wednesday here. So I'm sure a few people actually were asking to be reminded when that comes out. For folks who aren't subscribed to F5 Labs, you just go to f5labs.com. You just have to throw in an email address and you're subscribed to their mailing list. No further info than that. They'll just take your email and then they'll start sending the stuff out to you. But should be. I haven't gotten a chance to read through it yet, and I didn't get a preview, or actually I got a short preview of it, but I think it'll be interesting. I think one thing that David highlighted was that it's pretty obvious, but this year there's a lot of people that were at home looking for something to do, and what do? They go out and do more fishing.
Yeah.
And some of the ways that they're doing it now, actually impersonating encrypted sites, or not impersonating encrypted sites. They are encrypted sites. So they're actually buying SSL certificates. So everybody that is trained to know that, hey, if I go to a site and it's got the little lock icon at the top, that means I'm safe. That doesn't matter anymore. It can be an encrypted site. But it could still, they just went out and bought a certificate, and that site could still be doing malicious things. So that is on F5 Labs, just top of the page article on there. And then one thing I wanted to highlight too. So this year, I know Calgary actually had their BSides virtually just this past week. For Vancouver, they initially postponed it. It was really bad timing. So they initially postponed it to September, and then that just didn't look realistic anymore to have an in-person event. So they decided to postpone the event altogether until next year. Now, if folks don't realize, Vancouver BSides is a non-profit event, and all their pre-purchased tickets, they refunded everybody 100% for all those pre-purchased tickets. But they did order all the swag that they were supposed to give away with your entry. And so they're sitting on lots and lots of this merchandise now. So if anybody wants to and sees this, you can kind of contribute back. Obviously it's not great financially when you have to give up all your revenue and you've sunk a bunch of cost into buying all the stuff that you were supposed to give along with the tickets there. So all the swag is up for sale, $150 for the whole package.
Having been to multiple BSides, I'll say that Alex and the team that look after Vancouver they're the high watermark for sure. They certainly get it done the right way. So, any support that we can give those guys, we really need to find a way, because it's such an important event to have.
Yeah, agreed. The Victoria one is getting better all the time also. So it's cool to see BC represented this well.
Yep. I think the two big conferences every year in BC are in Victoria and then BSides, and they're fantastically run, and they're just, the attendance is great, and it's certainly an incredible networking, if nothing else. But if we can support these guys, anybody who can support them, please do. It's worth it.
Yeah, some good stuff. You get a hoodie, tote bag, socks. Those are always good. Cable organizer, wireless charger. They always do a good job with their badges too. Like in previous years, they've had like these light up badges with RFID inside of them and little like hacking challenges in there. I noticed there's a Backdoors and Breaches card game included on there. So yeah, good little package for $150 if anybody can contribute.
Very nice.
Yeah.
So moving on, Canucks.
I thought this was interesting today. I'm not a fan, just saying. It's not my favorite.
No, I haven't even seen those. Wow, they're ugly.
Yeah. They're
yeah.
I don't know. There's something.
Yeah, that was my least favorite jersey.
Yeah.
When they
they look like they got stuck in the wash with some other colors or something like that. Oh, yeah, those are horrible.
Yeah.
It's good though, because we can still. The best thing though is we can make fun of Calgary, because they brought their horse back with the flaming snot horse, which is got to be one of the worst. So,
spoken like a true Oilers fan.
Yeah, exactly. You can't tell where my allegiances are. That way for a second.
Yeah.
Wow. Those are just a third jersey, I assume. They're not completely switching to these.
I don't know what the story is with these, Daryl. I think they've done them for every team in the NHL. Some are good. Some are like, if you want to look up a good one, look up Toronto's. They're terrible. Just awful. Montreal's going all blue with these ones. I don't know if that works for me, but some of them, they went back to the old school New York Rangers. If you remember the Lady Liberty from the 90s, they brought that one back out, and that one looks really awesome. I like the Detroit one. Even the Oilers one, I'll have to say, is kind of average. So,
all right, here we have a couple of them.
Good too.
Yeah, I love the old Kings ones.
Yeah, and then Colorado's wearing the Nordiques logo in the Colorado colors, which look pretty good.
Very nice. Yeah, that's a great logo. I saw an article the other day. They had the top 50 NHL logos of all time. That Nordique one was up there in the top 5. But interestingly enough, they had the Hartford Whalers one as the best.
I was just going to say the Whalers are back too. So they brought back the Whalers uniform for this this retro reverse thingy. So
Yeah.
Buffalo jerseys looks good too. Actually, it's got the combination. There you go.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
that does look nice. Yeah.
Reminds me of Alexander McGillney.
Totally.
Yeah.
Dominic Hasek.
Yeah.
There
Oh,
you
there
go.
it is.
Yes, the worst, like a horse with a sinus infection. It's just awful. Yeah.
Well, hopefully they're all back playing.
That's true.
sometime in there.
Yeah, it's easy to make fun of them when they're not playing.
Yeah. Yeah. It'll be a shame if it's delayed
Yeah.
significantly.
Another piece of news. This was actually pretty exciting because we talked about this previously, but SpaceX launched another set of astronauts into space to the International Space Station. So, you know, for folks who don't keep up with this stuff, and I only kind of get the knowledge from my kids who have been really interested in this since this came about earlier this year, but NASA realizes that they have to privatize space missions in order to make it economical and kind of leave it up to the free market, because otherwise they were just making rockets, blowing them up, and then they're toast, and then they have to create a whole new project to create a whole new rocket to I don't think it's quite like that. They can reuse the shuttle and stuff, but now SpaceX has, I think, won the contract. So now they're the ones that are going to prove that they can, or they are proving now that they can continually launch the same rocket in. So this saves money. I think down here in the article, it notes that the Americans, when they were launching into space, they were flying with Russia, and it cost $90 million a seat to go up there. So
that sort of limits who can travel.
Yes.
Yeah.
80 million I would do for sure, but 90 million.
It's pushing it, right?
Probably get a deal and negotiate.
Yeah.
Yeah, they set up a Japanese astronaut with these guys this time, which was cool. It's Elon Musk is a clever guy.
Yeah, amazing what they're doing. If they can light up all of these different remote countries with wireless technology, like, you know, pretty much a game changer.
Yeah.
It is noted. I don't know if anybody follows Elon Musk on Twitter, but he has a mild case of COVID. Potentially.
I didn't actually hear that. That's interesting.
Yeah. So funny thing, like he was taking tests before this because, and he wasn't at the launch event. So he was taking tests. He documents this on his Twitter, but he took 4 tests. 2 of them were positive, 2 of them were negative. And so I think he kind of threw his hands up in the air and like, what the heck? So he was not at the launch event. He usually is a big part of it. Like if you ever hear the guy talk about rockets, he, like, aside from, you know, being leading software companies, the one that was purchased and formed PayPal, electric cars, and he's also pretty much a rocket scientist as well.
Yeah,
it's nuts.
Amazing guy.
Yeah. So here's a little warning for everyone. There is a recall on Ring doorbells, second generation ones, because they might catch on fire. So
lovely.
If anybody has a Ring doorbell, that could happen to you.
Wow.
That's not, I know those are very popular, but like the telcos, are they using any of this technology in some of their systems? Or
yeah, they are. They're using a mix of some of the Google products and some of Ring, and yeah, that's not good because that's pretty pervasive technology now too. There's a lot of people that want to use that. I think if you go back in time earlier this year when we sort of were in the teeth of the first COVID lockdown, there was a lot of interest in the sort of the Android platform devices. Where you can sort of look at and see who's coming into your house, or put up, you know, cheap cameras that you can get up and around your house. And so this is concerning because there's lots of technology going into old homes too, for older people or for people who are by themselves, to just make sure they know who's coming to the door. That's too bad.
Interesting.
Yeah.
There'll be some busy folks out there doing all of those recalls.
Yeah, we've got a number. We've got 2 really big telco clients that we're working with both of them on their home security solutions, because it is a way. Obviously, you have to log into those solutions, and so there's concerns around who's logging in and where they get the credentials from, and that's a really interesting use case for us at Shape. But it's interesting to see how invested these the telcos are in that business. It's a significant long-term investment for them in home security and Wi-Fi enabled, all the Wi-Fi enabled stuff.
Yeah, it's a smart home stuff, and they do a good job. I don't have the tele service, but I've got some friends that do, and it's I would say it's very priced affordably and works really well. So
we're a TELUS customer. I was obviously back in my history. Myself and my wife work there, and so we're all TELUS, and we added on the TELUS home security features. We've got a camera on every corner of the house and a little monitor that we can look at stuff on, and it can tell you when your door's left open and all that kind of stuff. And we've got the doorbell, so I'm kind of gotta go and see who the manufacturer is.
Yeah.
Cool. And maybe one last article here. Obviously, Santa's visits at the mall are going to be a little bit different this year. So Cadillac Fairview is doing a virtual online Santa instead. And if you read through the article, you can actually do a Zoom call with Santa.
Really? Awesome.
Yeah.
You got to do it.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know if the kids will like it just as much, but who knows?
Well, at least you don't have to get them all dressed up and drag them kicking and screaming through the mall and wait in line there. Wow, that's I hadn't thought of that one. That's going to be a different experience this year for sure.
Yeah, I think they noted here that Santa is immune to COVID somewhere down here.
I did hear Bonnie Henry say that this past week.
Yeah.
We had the great experience last year. So my daughter's a dancer, and they got to kick off the Christmas season last year with doing this big dance parade in Pacific Center, Park Royal. They did the big dance parade. So they danced Santa in. They were in little sort of red and white outfits and stuff. It was crazy how many people were there. It was all full on festival, and it was pretty neat. It was around this time actually. So, but I guess just thinking back a year ago to how busy that was and how many people were there, and now you'd just be like, yeah, everybody get out here. So
I'll show you though how quickly a year rolls by. I do remember having lunch with you shortly after that we acquired Shape, and obviously we've known you for a long time from previous roles, but that does not seem like a year ago that happened. It's crazy how
we're right on top of that too. I think just a couple of weeks from now is when it was announced a year ago. So it's, time flies. Especially when you're sitting at home the whole time too. So
yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
Well, we're at the top of the hour here, so thanks. Good to see you again, as always, Ryan. I know we see you a lot with customers, but appreciate you jumping on, and we'll talk to everybody this time next week.
Thanks, everybody. Be safe.
Thanks for checking this out today. If you're watching via YouTube right now, go ahead and click subscribe down below. Also click the bell for notifications. That way you will find out when we are dropping a new video or when we're going live. Also, there's darylandboo.com. If you head over to that, leave your name and email address, we will drop a weekly technical newsletter in your inbox every Monday. Also, this is available via podcast, Apple, Google, Spotify. Head over to one of those, hit subscribe, and you'll be able to listen to us in the car on your commute or during a walk or a run. Thank you very much, and we will see you next time.